Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. This video we're looking at the PrizePicks plays for today, July 1st. I just posted the DFS video, so check that out if you wanted to. Good day yesterday if you played the PrizePicks entry. Hit the over fantasy just barely on Areola. Got there, I think, by half a point. We hit the over. There wasn't a great pitching board yesterday, so I went with the hitters. Hit the over fantasy on Kyle Schwarber. Ended the month with another bomb. Hit the over fantasy on Joey Votto. He also hit 1 yard. Missed on Drury. And then we hit the over fantasy on Ian Happ. Had a couple of hits with a run scored. So let's go ahead and get into today's board. As always, hit the like button for me if you enjoy the content. Subscribe if you have not already. Really appreciate the support. Check out all the other links in the description. So today, looking at the strikeouts to get us started, there's a couple at 4 that I want to mention. First one is going to be over strikeouts going on Merrill Kelly. I know he's in Coors, and it's always a little bit risky targeting players in Coors, but I still think that we can at least get 4, if not 5 strikeouts from Merrill Kelly. Looking at his just recent numbers, his game logs, most often than not, he's going to be looking at 4 strikeouts at least. He has 71 in strikeouts in 84 innings this year. He's hit over 4 strikeouts in his last 4 starts. Missed it against the Pirates with only 2 strikeouts. That one. Hit it against the Dodgers. Missed it against the Cubs. It seems like if he's missing it, he's just going to get you 2 strikeouts. Dodgers have had his number a little bit. Another 2-strikeout game there. Started off, but he had 8 against the Rockies earlier where he almost went the complete game. 8 2/3. Now, in Coors, different story. If we look at the strikeout numbers against strikeout numbers of the Dodgers, we can kind of get a better idea of which type of hitters and who's going to be likely to strike out. You can find the game on here. There we go. Yeah, we know that Chris Bryant is back, and he's a pretty heavy strikeout hitter, at least so far this year. So looking at this season's sample size, 25% K rate on CJ Cron. You have a 16% K rate on Chris Bryant, so it's not super high, but if we look at his last couple years, get a better sample because he hasn't played a ton. It's a 21% K rate. Joe strikes out about 20%. You're getting 25% K rate for McMahon. Bottom of the order, over 20%. You're looking at 7 righties, 2 lefties for Merrill Kelly. The righties he has struck out about 3 percentage points higher, so that's a good news for Merrill Kelly. And in terms of the pitch selection, you can kind of mess around with the pitches and look at which hitters whiff more if you wanted to go really in depth. But I'm kind of seen enough with the game logs and with the strikeout rate, the earlier matchup against them. So Merrill Kelly over 4 strikeouts is going to be one prop that I'm looking at. The other prop over 4 strikeouts is going to be Alex Cobb. He's exactly at 4 strikeouts. Going up against the Chicago White Sox, who are another team with a very righty-heavy lineup, and they do strike out a decent amount as well. If we look at the numbers for Cobb this season, he's been really good with the strikeouts, 26.5%. He has a very low xFIP, which means that he's getting a little bit unlucky because I know he has like a 5-point-something ERA. But if we look at the advanced number signal, that he's getting a little bit unlucky there. Lots of righties. You're looking at 1, 2, 3 lefties, 2 lefties and a switch hitter. Some guys will strike out a lot with like Moncada's 30%. Some guys don't K much with like Tim Anderson and Abreu, at least this year. If we look at last couple of years, get a little bit bigger sample. You got more guys north of 20%. Some guys north of like 19%, so right about 20. In terms of his strikeouts against righties, he's been a lot better, 26.5% compared to 23.5%. If we look at just this season's sample for the strikeouts, it's been almost 28% K rate to lefties. And I don't know if this board has been updated just based on what Ohtani did against the White Sox with 13 K or 11 strikeouts against them. So definitely are prone to being struck out a little bit, at least against righties. I know Cobb doesn't have nearly as good strikeout stuff as Ohtani, but he's another pitcher that typically will be, just looking at his game logs, he's been coming through at this sort of number. He has missed some starts this year with injuries, but he got you 4 Ks, a push against the Reds. And Gabe Kapler's always prone to pulling guys early, so there is some risk there. But he hit his over strikeouts against the Reds, missed it against the Pirates, hit it against the Reds, hit it against the Mets, pushed against the Rockies in Coors, hit it against the Rockies, hit it against the Cardinals with 8. Only got absolutely blown up against the Washington team back in the beginning of May, and then pushed it against the Mets, hit 10 Ks against the Padres overall. 46 innings, 53 strikeouts. He's at home where he has pitched a little bit better, as you'd expect. 35 strikeouts at home in 26 innings. So I do like getting at least hopefully 4 strikeouts, if not 5 at least, from Alex Cobb. Going over to the fantasy scores, one prop that I really like is going to be taking the over fantasy on Corbin Burns. It's at 43.5. He gets a pretty good matchup against the Pirates. I looked at it on the DFS video. A lot of lefties, but Burns has struck out lefties about 4 percentage points higher over last couple seasons, and he has already faced this Pirates team earlier this year, where he had 10 Ks against them, was almost unhittable. Lots of 20+% K hitters in this Pirates lineup. Earlier this season, he went 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, only gave up 4 hits, a couple of home runs, but still hit the well over fantasy, had 33 DraftKings points, no problem hitting the over 43. And after losing last night, I think the Brewers will be able to take this game behind their ace. That is the third prop today, over 43.5 fantasy points for Corbin Burns. The fourth one is going to be a no-run first inning, and we're taking the Nerfy in that same game with Corbin Burns and Contreras. Both pitchers have been pretty solid this year. If you look at the odds of it hitting, over on PropStatCash, it is one of the highest ones of the games going in action today. We have Burns' record is 13-2. Contreras' record is 7-0, so 87%. Pretty favorable. Good ballpark to hopefully get that Nerfy in Pittsburgh. So that's going to be one that I'm looking to take advantage of. And if you look at the odds on sportsbooks, this one is -142. So we're getting pretty good numbers to take the under on PrizePicks. And then the last prop is going to be another pitching prop. We're taking the over, I believe it was an over strike, or actually it was over fantasy score prop. And this one is going to be my SP2 on DraftKings today. Taking the over fantasy on Lance Lynn. It's at 24.5. Unlike Alex Cobb, Lynn will go deep into games. He went 109 pitches in just his third start. He's a workhorse. He's missed a lot of time this year, but he came back. He's made his last 3 starts. So this is his 4th start back. Hopefully continues to build and kind of get more comfortable. He has given up some runs recently, but it's a good ballpark to pitch in. Not too high totals on either side. It's another Nerfy that you could consider. But Lynn, I like him more than Cobb because there's a chance he can throw, at least for fantasy, there's a chance he can throw at least 25, if not 30 more pitches than Cobb with how often Gabe Kapler likes to pull his pitchers. But that's it for the PrizePicks video. Hopefully we can go 4-1 again, if not better. Taking the over Ks on Merrill Kelly at 4, over 4 Ks on Alex Cobb, over 43.5 fantasy on Corbin Burns, no run first inning Pirates Brewers, and over 24.5 fantasy on Lance Lynn. Best of luck tonight. Any other props, put them down below, and I can give you guys my opinion on them if you wanted to know. And I will see you all next time.